To avoid the warning message in the console when we issue the command in our environment file, we will add a small, we'll add a small one line of the statement which is exporting. Ideally, it is exporting one path. We will do that now. Are you guys able to see my screen? Are you guys able to hear me? And are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay. Sorry, it's wrong. Oh, it's already exist. I think so already will be there. We'll see that if it is there. Export Hadoop underscore home underscore warn underscore surplus equal to true. Okay, and we'll update this and we'll see whether it is asking when I give the command whether it is asking deprecated or something. HDFS.
If you use the same command in like dot profile file also it works, or like only in environment file we have to keep?
It is environment file. Dot profile.
No.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, my question is if you keep the same thing in dot profile file,
Uh-huh.
that time also it works,
Jay, I didn't try that actually.
or we need to keep an environment file.
This is belongs to Hadoop, right? So we ideally will give the environment file. So dot bash profile is for dashboard no dot bash underscore profile or dot
Yeah, I
bash
think
RC file is
you are
the,
correct. See, I think yeah, if you give the here, it will work for all the users. If you give the dot profile file, it will work for only for particular user, I think.
I mean we will try that as well. I mean these are all we didn't try really. Today morning Bharat is updated me because someone was asking why the warning message, why this deprecated message is coming. We cannot, the deprecated message is coming. Maybe some other reason I don't know. There are Hadoop FS. I mean, Hadoop FS is to interact with our HDFS file system. We have a command like Hadoop and we have a HDFS. There are two different commands, and the later version of that we have to use the HDFS, not the Hadoop. So maybe that is the reason it is giving a warning. To to suppress that also we have a option like a where in environment file we can go ahead and suppress that. If you see now, I have issued a command. I didn't see that no deprecated message. So yeah, so thanks Bharat, thanks for the update. And there is one more thing he updated me today, that is, as you see, when I issue a command it is taking some duration, 30 to 30 or 20 to 30 seconds of time, right? That also we can reduce by installing the Kerberos, and we will see that later point of time. we have that is something we need to install Kerberos or something. We'll see that how to install that. Okay, clear guys?
Yeah.
Okay, today we will see administration commands. Our guys tried all the commands yesterday. What are the commands we have seen? Any doubts from that? So after seeing these commands will be mainly using for the administration team, and they'll be looking at more. They'll be having it's like their job to their roles and responsibility to enter these jobs, and their work is done with these commands. Still, we'll look at these commands for our understanding what is happening when we issue this command. We regularly will not use these commands. Okay, and when you want to see the list of commands, what are the commands are available, you can go ahead here, Hadoop DFS admin, just give an enter. It lists out all the commands, what are the options, or what are the options available for the DFS admin. You can go ahead and look at here. One is a report, which will reports the, it will give the report where it shows like what blocks, and it will give the block report, it will give the data node, which data node has which data. It will list out the how much space is occupied, what how much space is occupied for the HDFS, how much space is occupied for normal file system. All the details will be shown here. We'll try that command first. DFS admin hyphen report. And Jay, yesterday you asked me one question, right? So I'll answer this question end of the session, and whether we have a grep in Hadoop or not. We don't have a direct command as like fs cat put get like cat me. We don't have a direct grep command as we discussed yesterday. We can still go ahead and get it. We'll see that how to do, but that is not preferable approach. Also, we'll see that. If you see here, when I see a report, it is telling that my safe mode is on because yesterday I kept my machine to safe mode, and the configured capacity is this much, and the present capacity is this much, and DFS remaining, DFS used, okay, under replicated blocks are this many, corrupted blocks are there is no corrupted blocks, and there are no missing blocks. And when you see your data node is, this is the IP address, and this is the port where your data node is running, okay, and your total data nodes available one, and what is the where the data node is stored, which is IP address. It will, if you have multiple nodes or if you have a cluster, it will list out the each and everyone's IP address and port number and their details, whether it's decommission status is normal, and again this in this data node what is the capacity, because whole machine is treating as one data node, so it is showing the same results here as well. Again, clear guys? Clear about the report command? It will restore the capacity, how much space is occupied, how much space is left it, and how many blocks are under replica. All the details will be shown. Is this clear guys? Shall we go ahead and look at another command? Okay, Hadoop DFS admin safe mode. This command is required most of the cases. Sometimes when your development environment, when you restart your machine or when you restart the cluster, sometimes you will be facing this problem. It will be saying that your name node is in safe mode. So when your name node is in safe mode, it will be only read only. It is not, you cannot interact with the cluster. And one more thing I would like to update here: read only in the sense you cannot store any data in that. but you can get the data from there by using get command. We cannot store any data, or we cannot process any data, or we cannot execute any command, any what I mean to say, any MR job or something. Clear, guys? The cluster will be in a read-only mode where you can get the data, but you cannot process the data. You cannot create data, anything on any data in that. To see the status, what is this your name node status? Hadoop DFS admin hyphen safe mode space get. What it will do? It will get me the status of my name node. So my safe mode is on. Ideally should be off. So my safe mode is on. So how to make it off? I have a command called leave. And if I want to put it into safe mode, I can say enter. I want to leave from the safe mode, I'll say leave. Okay, now my safe mode is off. If I execute my command, it will give me the safe mode is off. Yeah, so now my safe mode is off, where I can go ahead and interact with my cluster. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and look at the some of the commands. When you say Hadoop DFS help, and it will show all the commands, and this document I'll be sharing with you guys. This document is prepared based on the Hadoop 2. Okay, most of the commands will be same, and most of some extra commands has been added to in the Hadoop 2. But at least it will help. I mean, it will help you to understand there are some more commands. And we have seen the report where it lists out the all the basic file system information and statistics. And we have seen the safe mode where you can enter, where you can leave, and where you can get, and where you can wait also. Okay, and refresh nodes. What is the refresh nodes? Refresh nodes is when you add a when you add a new node to the cluster, or when you remove a node to the node from the cluster, and your name node has to read, your name node has to identify that whether this name node has been removed or this name node has been added. How it will know? For that, in HDFS we'll be having two configurations, dfs.hosts and dfs.hosts.exclude. These two configurations are expecting a file, a text file, I can say ideally. The file, these are expecting the file. dfs.host, what it will do, it will says that what are the nodes, what are the hosts, ideally, what are the hosts can talk to the name node, what are the hosts can interact with the name node. Those host names will keep in on file, and then we'll give complete, fully qualified path to the this configuration value as this configuration. And if any data nodes or any hosts you don't want to talk to the name node, you don't want to interact with the name node, those host names and IP address, host name or IP address and port number will keep in the files, will list out in the file. That file will give value as this host, this dfs.host.exclude parameter. That time, when you refresh the name node, it will start reading these two files, I mean these two configurations. Then again it will refresh the whether which are the hosts I want to contact, which are the hosts I don't need to contact. I'll explain one more time, guys. So you have removed let's assume a scenario where you have removed a data node from the cluster, and you don't want to interact that data node to your name node. And what we have to do that, you have to prepare a text file which data node you don't want to talk to the name node, IP address, port number, you keep in the file. And that file will give value as this parameter in the configuration file, dfs.host.exclude file. Then you will just give Hadoop DFS admin hyphen refresh node. Then what will happen? Your name node will start reading from this file. Some this it'll reload. Ideally, it's refresh in the sense it'll reread the all these configurations. When you read the configurations, it'll understand what are the data node has not to interact. Clear, guys, about this? Okay, guys, 2 minutes. I just come back. Please be. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Just went for take some glass of water. Okay. Now understand, right? The how this DFS, how this refresh nodes works. And you have added new node. You have a new node data node, and you have log SSH into the data node, and you have run the your uh, task tracker and data node. I mean, jobs we have started them. Yesterday we have seen how to start them. And then whatever the data node we have added, we will take IP address of that and port number. We'll keep it on file, and that file we will link to, or mean will give the path to dfs.hosts. We will see them where these configurations available. We'll see now. Go to our configuration folder. Under configuration, sorry, go to our home directory of Hadoop home. Under that you will be having src. Go to src folder. Under src folder you have a hdfs folder. In this hdfs folder you have a hdfs-default site default.xml file. You open this file. You open this file. In this, search for dfs.hosts. There is no value. We didn't specify any value. What it is saying in the description? Names a file that contains a list of hosts that are permitted to connect to a name node. Okay. The full path of the file must be specified. Where the file is located. The file should contain your host name and port number. If the value is empty, all hosts are permitted. It means if this value is empty, there is nothing is specified. It means that whatever the data nodes are connected, all are allowed to talk. If you don't want to talk any of the data node, and we will specify that IP address and port number. Clear guys about this? This is very much important because this is one of the interesting part. We should know how to add a cluster, how to add a node, how to remove a node, right? We should know. We should we want to know that, right? So this is the place where we will do that. After giving this, and we have to SSH to data node where you have to start the services, and you have to refresh and you have to run a command hadoop dfs admin -refresh nodes, then it will take care of. And if you want to remove it, yes, again this is the where you have a property. This property will expect the file, and which the file contains the IP address and port number. That port number, that IP address and port number will be treated as it should not interact with the connect with the data name node. Clear guys about this? And if you are interested, if you want to look at the most of the uh, uh, commands, you can go ahead and look at the HDFS default XML or core-default.xml. There will be specified file in the src folder. You can go ahead and look at those configurations. For core, we have a separate folder called core-default.xml. This XML file lists out some of the commands. Here core-default.xml, the default XMLs. When our cluster is running, it will be loading these default parameters, so these default values. If you want anything overwrite with your own specific configurations, we will do in the configuration file core-site.xml or hdfs-site.xml or mapred-site.xml. There we will overwrite. Else if we didn't override, it will take as the default ones. That is the reason we are overriding very limited properties like name node where the data has to go, the name node directory, data node directory, your name node IP address, not IP address, ideally here localhost only, and port number. These are very limited configurations we are doing. Remaining all configurations we are using default configurations. Like block size, we can go ahead and change. By default, it will take 64 MB. And the replication factor, minimum replication factor, maximum replication factor, normal replication factor. All these things you can go ahead and change in our core-site.xml. If you didn't override there, ideally it's overriding there. If you didn't override there, it will read from the default properties. Okay, guys. Am I clear, guys? Shall we move to next? Shall we look at the next command? Okay. And finalize upgrade. Let's assume in the cluster we are running Hadoop 1.x and I want to upgrade to a 1.2 or another version like 2.0 or 2.x, right? When you upgrade, so we have to change all the configuration files, and we have to do respective configurations, right? After doing the respective configurations, when you use Hadoop DFS admin hyphen finalize upgrade, this command will upgrade the cluster. Like this command is useful when upgrading a Hadoop version on all the machines of the cluster. With this command, data nodes delete their previous version working directories, and followed by what are the configuration we specified, it will take care of that. Okay, and these commands we regularly not use these commands will be using by administrator. So purely it will be in administration job. And hyphen meta save, what we can do, we can save the name nodes primary data structure. Like um, we can metadata, we can take the metadata, we can save into our local machine. How to use, if you see here, what I have done, Hadoop DFS admin hyphen meta save, and I have stored the meta save. Let's assume before already I have used, now I'm executing the same command again. It will start pick the data, I mean the meta information from the name node, and it will store into this file. Where this file will store? This file will store in our Hadoop home directory. Under that we have a logs file, logs folder. Under that it will create a file, whatever the name you give, it will create under that. It will create under this directory. Created a file sample metadata.txt under this. What is this? This is our name node, I mean where our setup is there, and we can go ahead and look at that. Logs file, this is the one file which I am using, and this is the old file which I have created. This is the new file I just created. You can go ahead and look at this. This is this is the metadata, this is the metadata which I have saved from the name node. Here 1484 files and directories, and 664 blocks, and this are total, this many are there. And live nodes 1 and dead nodes 0. And if you see uh, I mean if you see all the information like user, this is the one, these are the folder structure and blocks, complete information is available here. And it's also displaying which is the our data node, which data node the data is stored, this data, which data node is stored, with this block, which data node is stored. All the metadata information is available here. It is ideally, what is this? It is file to block and block to your data node mapping. This is the only our metadata, right? So file to block and block to data node. If you have multiple data nodes and if you have multiple blocks for the same file, it will display that as well. And in my case, in our pseudo distribution mode case, only we are using one data node, right? And all the data will be in that data node only. That is the reason it is showing all the places in the same IP address. Okay, this is because I have huge number of directories in my setup, so that is the reason it is shown this many. Clear, guys? So at the end, you can see how much data has been occupied, I mean specified, and how much data is occupied. What is the percentage, and when we have run the command, all the details will be listed out here. Any doubt, guys? Okay. Fetch image, where we can do fs image file also, we can fetch from the name node and we can store into our local directories. And even if you store fetch and store in local directory, there is no use. Even we cannot able to view them because it will be in byte format, right? So we'll execute that command. We'll see. Guys, are you able to follow me? Am I going speed, or if you guys are you able to follow me the command wise? Could you please respond? Can understand? Okay, 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 fine. No, if I'm fast, if I'm going fast, or if I'm keep changing the command one command another command, if I'm going fast, please let me know. I'll stop there and I'll explain more about that command, and we'll go into next commands. It's a very pretty simple. We have it documented here, so when you look at that, it will be very easy to. Okay.
So I want to tell one thing actually for maybe suggestion for I think many folks.
Yeah.
Generally, in command like whatever you practice more, then only you will get more hands. Otherwise, you will come very fast.
Could you please repeat, Jay?
No, no. I'm just suggest folks actually
Okay.
when it is more, then only will be good. Otherwise, you can forget very fast the Unix commands.
Yeah, that's correct. We have to practice it then. Yeah.
Windows or something, Google or something. You have to practice more, then only you'll get remember. Right? Because actually I'm a Unix developer. I know that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what, guys. Please practice the commands as is Jay suggesting. Even I do understand that. If we didn't practice, if we didn't do the more practice, we'll be forgetting that for what is meant for this command, and again we have to search for it.
Actually, if we take as FS options, we are giving lot of options.
Right.
Minus S, minus L, like lot of options. Each option has their own values. So
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. Thanks for your suggestion. Yeah. Now, uh, if you want to fetch the FS image from the name node, you want to store into a local file system, we can go ahead and use your command, and let's see that command is available for our version or not. Guys, why I'm showing I'm preparing document for the 2.0, because it you'll be knowing that there are more options. You know how to execute the command. There will be syntax and everything will be there. It's very simple to execute the command, but we should know these commands are available in later versions. It's not like totally strict to the current version what we are using. We don't have the fetch image. We don't have the fetch image command. So what will happen when you try it? Hadoop test. Here, fs image test. See, it is telling that fetch image unknown command. These are only commands are allowed in this version. Okay, guys, that doesn't mean that the command is not exist. The commands are exist in later versions, And the why I have brought them into in the document, like why I'm explaining them, because when suppose if you're using 2.0 or 2.x version, and it's good to know that this command is available. Anyway, how to use the syntax and everything is there in the document. We can go ahead and use them, but we should know whether it's available or not. That is the only reason I brought them into. I mean, 2.x I'm explaining here.
Maybe one question actually.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Um, if you have any, like, if you take as in Unix, like if you install the some utilities, you will
Hmm.
get additional commands. Is any way if you install on any other additional utilities, you get all other options, or you go for again your latest version?
No, we have to go for latest version only. We don't have any utilization for such kind of utilities for Hadoop.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
those commands are I mean, they have improved some extra commands. They come up with some more classes. Ideally, these are classes. They come up with a more no commands, and they have named it as a version 2. So in the version 2, these commands are available.
Okay. Okay. One more question.
Yeah,
I
yeah, go ahead. Mm.
then you have the like a concatenate command. Concatenate command means I want to do the two commands at one run. So
Yes, our HDFS or Hadoop also will allow us the multiple concat in the sense. Let's assume that two
yeah, means
files at a time, two files you want to create, or at a time two data files you want to store into the HDFS. That will be possible by using the space.
no, not that. My
Oh
question is
no,
like
concatenation
take
two. Okay, try and no, I didn't try them. I hope it won't be available at a time. Two commands at a time. I didn't try, but it is, we can keep all the commands in such file, and we can execute one by one, one after one. But at a time executing two commands, uh, uh, I didn't see them. I didn't try at any time.
my question is like take as first command copy x to y. Okay.
Okay.
Like I needed first 100 characters or something. So I can do like two commands using typing symbol in Unix.
In pipe symbol, right? Using pipe.
Yeah.
uh,
Same way can you do in
yes, yes, that will be allowed. That, see, even that's what I was about to say. Yesterday you were asking me, is there any grep kind of thing, right? What you can do, Hadoop DFS, I mean Hadoop FS-ls, you can say, or you can say cat, and you can give the pipe symbol, where you can use the grep command. Use the grep command, and what you want to grep, I mean, what is the text you are looking for, or what is the file you are looking for. That time it will fetch you the results, but that is a sequential process. It will not work as a parallel process.
yeah, that's what, yeah, the sequence process. Right. It's not parallel process.
Yeah, so here also like that, if you want do some that kind of pipe, you add pipe symbol and you try to do some searching or find, or if you want to do something, you can go ahead and do that. It will allow.
Okay, okay, okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So this fs image file is in a byte format, so we were not able to, it's not human readable. To make it human readable in Hadoop 2, we got some tools as we explained on earlier. Those tools are like optimized. I'm typing here, optimized view, edit view, OEV, yes, OEV, optimize image view, edit view and image view. This is a command. I mean, it's not like as simple as this. It will be like your HDFS and OIV and space. There will be some option like which file you want to give, and there will be some eh, eh, destination path, and what is the format, whether it's and it will be whether it has to be text or text or HTML or XML. So we will be using this kind of command in the Hadoop tool. So there we can go ahead and view the FS image files, FS image and edit log file. I hope it's clear, guys. Print topology, where you want to get the rack information, we have a hyphen print topology. It will give the rack information. Anyway, guys, anyway the rack it has been introduced. What is a rack? I would like to explain what is a rack, and we have seen in some of the PPT slides what is a rack, how it will be a Hadoop cluster, how it will be formed in the rack. We have seen that those images we have seen, right? How the rack looks and how it will be configured and all. I would like to bring here what is a rack awareness. I would like to bring what is a rack awareness in Hadoop. Rack awareness. Rack awareness is a feature in Hadoop. It's not a feature, the way we design a Hadoop cluster. Let's assume we have a 30 or 40 node of cluster. When you have a 30 or 40 node of the cluster, we never set up a cluster in only one rack. We'll choose multiple racks for the I can say for the data recovery or for to avoid the fault tolerance. To avoid the failures, we will choose a multiple racks. We will not use a single rack. As we know that the racks are looks. We'll be having machines like this, or hardware will be looks like this. And it's a rack 1, and we will be having one more rack, and these racks will be connected by using switches, and these are all internally connected each other. And here somewhere it will be name node will be there, some rest of somewhere it will be secondary name node will be there, and rest are all DN. Let's assume that all are DN. This is your name node, and these are all DNs. Okay, when you store the data in the cluster, what is the rack awareness? The rack awareness is when you store the data to avoid the failures. What the Hadoop framework, the algorithm has been designed such a way that if you have a replication factor is 3, by default replication factor is 3, let's assume that B1 is a block, and the B1 will store in 2 data nodes in the same cluster, B1 here, B1 here, and 1 data node in other rack. 2 blocks in the same rack, ideally it is the same rack, 2 blocks in the same rack, other block in different rack. Why it is showing like this? The communication between 2 data nodes in the same rack is efficient than different rack. The communication between 2 data nodes, two nodes. Data node we know, right? 2 data nodes. This is a data node 1, this is a data node 2. The communication between these 2 data nodes is more efficient than communication between from here to here, like 2 different racks. So because of that, they have keep 2 blocks in the same rack and 1 block in the other rack. Why it has been divided like this? Let's assume that one of the rack is completely gone. Something happened, some completely is failed. There won't be any scenario complete rack is failed, a complete rack is not accessible or something. If in case even if that is the case, even it is failed, we have a replication, we have a block where we can get from other rack. I mean, we have a duplicated data, or we have one copy in other rack. So in this way, we are not losing any data. Even though complete rack is failed, even we are not losing the data. At least we are not losing the data. Maybe we are losing the process. We may not able to achieve the process that time because the name node may there in that rack. So if it is failed, we may not, again the backup nodes and all those things come into picture. The process may fail if the job is running. The job is running that time. When it is failed, if the job is running, we may lose the process, but we are not losing the data. If we have the data, we can go ahead and set up a new name node or a new name node, and we can continue the process. So this is making sure that we are not losing any data. Okay, that is the reason we have, whenever we configure, we'll configure multiple racks. We'll choose multiple racks to store the data. Clear, guys? And also, why two copies in one rack? Why can't it be, I'll choose three racks and I will keep other block into other rack? Why can't I do that way? As I said, the communication between two data nodes is faster than communication between two data nodes in different rack, right? So if I store three different blocks in three different racks, let's assume that one of the data nodes failed or one of the data nodes down for some reason, or one data node is to copy some data from the other data node because it's processing two blocks at a time. It's processing the split. Assume that the split is taken care like that. So that time it has to go to other rack. It has to get it copy to this rack. It will be bit time taking, right? So that is one reason. Okay. While I mean, let's assume that again the client will come into picture. Let's assume the client is there in the same rack, and if you want to store the data, it's faster to store in a single rack because the client also is there in the same rack. The distance, or he's near to the data node where he can store easily. But if you want to copy other data node, we'll see that in the right process. That time we'll get a clear picture. The client will start writing into one data node, right? The client will start writing into one data node. That data node will start writing into other data node. When you have a duplication of 3 or 4, 10, the duplicated copy will start writing by our data node, not the from the client. Client will send to one data node. That data node will send to other data nodes. Like from here it will come this data node. From here it will connect to the other data node and it will send. When it is there, the third copy is going to other rack, right? This is taking more time than copying into this. Are you guys clear about the rack awareness? Okay. So this is called rack awareness. This is called rack awareness. Okay. Fine. The same commands with the more details I have given in this document, administration commands, which is useful for administration purpose, and where you can check the health, and where you can see the reports, and where you can see the files and directories. These are all commands already we have seen, but I have documented here with the detailed information. So you guys can go ahead and look at that once I upload into the our drives. The same commands. There are no different commands. Those are same commands only with the detailed information. Clear, guys? Okay. Now, how the block is getting divided? How the block is getting divided? Anyone please try to answer how the block is getting divided. Then who is dividing it? And I see some of the people are in assumption that the name node is breaking into a blocks. No, name node never break into the blocks. Name node name node job is, it's a very pretty simple and it's very clear. The name node is responsible for assigning the tasks and maintaining the resources and maintaining the resource in the form of metadata. I mean, he's responsible for getting the metadata and merging the FS image when it starts, when you don't have the name node, and he's responsible for scheduling the jobs, right? That part we will see. That is the responsibility of him. Name node will never ever break the data into blocks. And who will break the data into blocks, and what is a block? Guys, please try to answer that. And these are the one of the interview question. There are no different commands here. These are all most of the same commands only. I think this document will help you to understand more detail. No, not the task tracker also. Even not even the task tracker. Who is dividing the blocks? Okay, fine. I'll explain. I'll try to explain. When you issue a command, there will be HDFS client or Hadoop client. I mean, wherever you are executing the command, that machine as a client machine, right? That machine we treat as a HDFS client, or that machine we treat as a client machine. That guy will break our data into blocks. That client machine will break the data into blocks, and that guy will talk to the name node saying that these many blocks are there with me. These blocks I want to store into the cluster. Give me the set of data nodes where I can go ahead and store the data. So who is dividing the blocks here? Your client. Ideally, your HDFS client is dividing the block. Fine. How he is dividing? He is taking care of the any meaningful information. Let's assume that I'm taking this line, complete this line. Okay. Besides using command line, I have used this statement. Okay. Let's assume that. Let's assume that. Or let me take my name. Let me take my name as an example. It will give a clear detail, clear information. My name is Veera Ravi. This is my full name. Okay. Let's assume that this is there in one file. This is there in one file. I'm trying to, this file size is, let's assume that this file size is 100 MB. Ideally, it will not even be KBs. Let's assume that this file is in 100 MB. Now, my block size is, as default, the 64 MB is block size, and replication factor is 3. Okay. Now, I want to, when I say HDF Hadoop fs hyphen put and this file location, and I want to put in HDFS, what it will do? It will start break this file into chunks, right? Chunk of data. And let's assume that it has broken till here as a block 1, and this is block 2, and this is occupies 64 MB, and this occupies 36 MB. Now, is this while breaking into one block, does my HDFS client taken care the meaningful information? Like, does my HDFS client think that no, I should not break here, but what is that Veera Ravi it's not meaningful, I should break till here? Does it taken care that? No. And second block, when it is dividing it, what is this AR and Singiri? It is not even meaningful. So no, I should not take from here, I should take from here. Does it taken care? No, it doesn't taken care. Why it is not taken? The HDFS client knows blindly wherever it reaches to 64 MB. Let's assume that this part taken 64 MB memory space. Then, irrespective of whether it has a proper meaning or whether it is meaningful statement or whether it is a meaningful chunk, I never mind whether the line is properly ended or not. I never mind. The HDFS client never minds while breaking into a blocks whether this line is properly ended or not. If I take till here, whether it will be having a proper information or not, it'll never taken care of that. Okay, the block will be divided by as soon as it reaches to 64 MB. It never even single KB also single byte also it not allowed to take. It is that is called, we'll say it's a physical chunk of data. That is the reason we say it is a physical chunk of data. Okay, then when it's you can go ahead, even you could have asked me that, Ravi, if I take like this, when I'm processing, I will not get the proper result because the line is started here. I mean, it is proper chunk is this, but I have taken in middle of that. How it will give me the proper results? That will taken care by your input split. There is one more split called it's an input split. The input split will come into picture when you're processing the data. When you're storing the data, it will never come into picture. When you're processing the data, it will come into picture. The input split is a logical representation of the block or the logical representation of the chunk of data. But your input split will take care. The line is started here. The line is started here, and the meaningful information is here. And even though it's going beyond, even though it's going beyond other block, it never mind. It will go ahead and takes input split will taken care from here to here. This is input split. When it's processed, yes, it's got the proper name. It's the first name, and this is last name. Who will decide that whether from where to where to take? It will be decided by your input format. We will see them while processing the data. But for time being, you just think that your block will be divided with respect of whether it has a proper meaning or whether it has no, ended the line or not. In respect of that, it will just break the data. Blind will just break the data into pieces when it reaches to 64 MB. Okay, but while processing it, it will take our input split will come into picture. The processing, the blocks will not be processed. The blocks will be just storing the data. The processing is taken care by input splits. It's called a split, or some people will say input split. The split will take the meaningful information from where to start. This is the starting point, this is the starting, and this is the end. I mean, line end with the proper meaning. So I should take till here, so I should not take here. And then it will take that much of amount data, and it will process that much of amount of that. We will see that, when it comes to map reduce part. Clear, guys? I think now you guys very much clear about block, who will divide the block, and what is the input split. Clear, guys? Please respond so I can understand whether you guys are follow it. It's okay. Okay. Now, what is the speculative execution? We have seen earlier in the while explaining in the demonstration class and other classes. What is a speculative execution? The speculative execution is a process of executing failed jobs or failed map tasks into other. Okay, one second, guys. And she has some doubt here. Correct. It will not send to the name node. It will say to the, it will ask the name node, I have these many blocks I want to store in the cluster. It will not send any data to the name node. It will not send any data. It will send how many number of blocks are there for this file. You said HDFS client is nothing but the machine from where we are executing the put command. Correct. Yes, that is the HDFS client. Okay, that machine, that client can be a part of your cluster, or that machine can be your one of the data node. That machine can be outside the cluster, or that machine can be any other remote machine where you can log into that machine, where you can execute the command from that machine. Okay. Okay. Now we are talking about is speculative execution. This speculative execution is, let me take a small diagram here. These are important questions, guys, because the interview try to understand that whether you know the architecture or whether you know these concepts or not. He will be trying to test. So these are the questions we may come across in interviews. Okay, and I have a file which is 100 MB. Let's assume I have a file. Okay, which is 100 MB. Let's assume that is 200 MB. If it's 200 MB, I'll come 4 blocks. 4 blocks, right? 180. No, 3 blocks only. 180, and fourth block will be, yes, 4 blocks will come, right? So let's assume that block 1 and block 2 is stored here, block 3, and duplications are stored respectively. And somewhere here block 4 also there. Let's assume that it has been stored like this. Okay, okay. Now when I'm processing the data, I have 4 blocks. When I'm processing the data, 2 blocks or 3 blocks are processing a data. 80% of the data is processed. It is processed. 80% of the data is processed. Let's assume that you're parallelly processing, and this machine also will work because it also has one of the data. Let's assume that it has one of the block. So when it's processing, it's your name node observes that three blocks are 3 blocks are processing very fast, like 80% of the data is already processed. But one block, which is, let's assume that is a B2, it is not yet processed. It is still in 10% only in a data node 3. Let's assume that in the data node 3, and it will just wait. So how long it is taking to process. Then it will calculate some calculations like how long it is taking, why it is taking this much of data. This much of time. Then your name node, what it will do, it is either running slow due to some issue. That can be a memory issue or it can be network issue, right? What it will do, it will not kill the job. It will not kill the job. If it's running slowly, even if let it run slow, it will not kill the job. The same job, let's assume that B2, right? The B2 is available somewhere here. Let's assume that the BT is available somewhere here. Then the same job will be launched here. Either the data node can be slow or it can be dead. The task is dead some due to some reason. That case, the same job will be launched in other machine where other block is available. Then it will start processing. Both will parallelly process. If this block is alive and is running slow, it will allow to both will run. Whoever finishes first, let's assume that B2 only come, data node 2 3 only came up and he finished it. Then he will consider the output of this and he will kill the job of this. The data node is completely failed, so there is no point to wait for him. It's completely dead, so he will launch the job into other data node and it will process. So it will not simply, one task is not completed in time. If it is not completed in time, it will not kill the whole job. It will try to launch the same task in other data node where the data is available. So it will wait for it. Even though some task is failed, some map task or some specific task is failed, some of the data nodes fail, it will try to attempt 4 times. It will try to attempt 4 times. Even the 4 times it is failing, then the job will be failed. Okay, number of attempts we can go ahead and increase. For default it is a 4 attempts. Clear guys about the speculative execution? Are you guys clear about the speculative execution? This is also one of the interview question. What is speculative execution? They may ask you that. Again here also it's failing. Again here also it's failed. And he say I have launched some other place. There also it's failed. So 4 times it launch like that. If it's failed more than 4 times, the job will be failed. Should we enable some parameters to do the speculative execution, or it by default enabled? And Hadoop framework will perform the speculative execution at all the time. Yes, it's by default is enabled, and where at number of attempts you can go ahead and change it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is what planned for today, guys. So I hope everyone is clear. If you guys have any doubt, please stay back and others can leave for the day. Thank you.
Thank you.